In this tutorial, you'll learn about the importance of beginning a new line each time there is a change of speaker whenever you are writing dialogue. When we write conversations between the characters in our stories, we call it dialogue. As well as helping to tell the story, dialogue reveals more about the personalities and emotions of the characters we are writing about. Whenever you write dialogue, it's important to begin a new line each time there is a change of speaker. Let's find out why. Here's an extract from George's Marvelous Medicine, a book by Roald Dahl. It begins with a dialogue between the two main characters, George and his grandma. Let me highlight the parts that Grandma says in green and the parts that George says in yellow. Clearly, Grandma is doing most of the talking. Now, if I take away those highlights, it becomes very difficult to follow the conversation. It's hard to know when one character stops speaking and the other one begins. Here's the same text, this time presented properly. I've made sure to start a new line each time there is a change of speaker. It makes it much easier to read. It also means that you don't keep having to explain who said what. For example, in this part, it's clear that it must be Grandma doing the speaking, so you don't need to use a reporting verb. Let's write some of our own dialogue. The two brothers marched through the forest. Tom, the eldest, turned around in mid-stride. Come on, if we're going to get there by dark, we need to quicken our pace. At this point, I'm going to change who is speaking, so I'm going to start a new line. As I'm typing my work, I like to leave a line space each time I start a new paragraph. Oh, I'm going as fast as I can, James panted, fanning himself with his red hat. He's finished talking now. I'm going to write some description, so I'm going to start a new paragraph. As they explored further, the forest became thicker and darkness slowly crept towards them. There was a rustle up ahead. Somebody will begin speaking, so I'm going to start a new line. Did you hear that? Whispered Tom. He's finished talking, so I'll start a new line to describe what James does. James nodded and pulled out his camera. So, from now on, whenever you are writing dialogue, begin a new line each time there is a change of speaker. And if you're typing your work, it's a good idea to leave a line space between your paragraphs. Spaced out work is so much easier to read.